What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to a live taping of Beyond the Bell. I am Chris Page. That is Todrick Ramsey. This is Beyond the Bell. Toddy, what's happening? How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Today has been a long day, but it's been a good day. And I know that my night is going to be even better because of the guests that we have coming on with us tonight. I have been excited for this for a very long time, and I know you are, so I can't wait.
Let me ask you, are you so excited that you just can't hide it? Are you about
Always.
are you about to lose control? Because I think I like it, if that's the case. It has been a long day. It's been a fun day. Long day at work. But this is where the fun really begins. The journey into independent wrestling for us has been incredible. I almost dropped the F bomb a minute into the show. It's been incredible, and it continues to give back in so many different ways. And tonight's no exception. Our guest that we're going to have in, when I say prodigy, is it's an understatement. In such a short period of time, he has competed. Did some stuff with Dragon's Gate over Mania weekend. He's done some stuff with Reality of Wrestling. He's done some stuff with Game Changer Wrestling. He's done some stuff with House of Champions. He's done some stuff with the establishment and a lot of other things in between. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to bring you the king of the next generation, Mr. RHYS MADDOX. Welcome to Beyond the Bell, sir. How are you?
Heck yeah, I'm doing great. Slight correction, it
Uh,
is RHYS MADDOX.
Reese. Why do I call you Rice Reese?
I've gotten it my whole life. It's okay.
Okay, at least I don't feel like the only fucking person that mispronounced your name. Welcome to the show, man. We'll get past that one, I hope.
Heck yeah, I've been excited for this.
I am too, man. This has been when we had the opportunity to line this up. It is first of all, anytime we can talk to somebody that we come across from the HOC, it's always fun times for us. And then you take into
Mm.
consideration what you're doing right now, where you've been, and just the fact that you're 17 years old, dude. Like rocking and
Mm.
rolling and cooking on all cylinders. It is our pleasure to have you in today and to be able to chat with you about
Heck
everything
yeah.
that you got going on. Dreams, aspirations, the whole deal. Todrick, you've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Wait no more. The man is here.
Chris said it best. Anytime we get to see anyone that's been with the HOC, uh, truly a gem that we fell in love with from the very first moment that we saw it. I have definitely been watching everything that you've been doing, and I really, really enjoy what I see. So it is such an honor to have you with us tonight and to get to talk to you and just hear about your journey. I am so excited.
Heck yeah, I really appreciate that.
First of all, I need to go get that shirt because I've got this
I
one,
It's up on Pro
and
Wrestling Tees.
I know I'm gonna have to pop it, man, because that design is fucking tight.
Heck yeah,
Listen,
thank you.
first of all, everybody in chat, welcome. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. We will get them in. We'll work them into the conversation as we go. So many friends have already popped in saying hello. We've got some first time chatters, some first time guys to the channel. We're glad you're here. Welcome to the show. We hope you have a fun time and you enjoy what we're able to bring to you here tonight with Mr. Maddox. When we kick these conversations off, brother, man, I start at the top and really want to know where fandom starts and where you get into professional wrestling and where it intersects with you. What's that look like for you as I would say as a young child, but you're still you're still a young one to me. Like 'cause I'm in my fucking 40s, brother. But yeah, as you're coming up, man, where do you fall in love with wrestling?
Shoot, I've been stuck a little bit my whole life. Um, no, wrestling's been awesome. It's always been there for me. Ever since I was little, I've been thrown in the back of a car to drive across 3 states for an indie booking with dads. Like wrestling, I've always loved, but it wasn't until I want to say 2019 when I was in 6th grade that it really
Oh,
started to. I know that's why I emphasized it. That was when I really started falling in love with it, because that was when me and my family moved back to Florida, and I started going to the week-to-week NXT Black and Gold tapings, and when they switched over to live, and that just made me fall in love with it. And then from there on, I've been stuck.
The Black and Gold, oh my God, I'll get it right. Brand of NXT was my favorite by far. You had so many coming through right there. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, fucking Bo Dallas when they gave a shit about him before the Wyatt Six stuff happened. You know, they give a shit about him now, but before then, like the Bo Leave stuff, man, that was my era of NXT. I thought it was great.
Shoot, I think I was at those too. I was just like 7 or 8.
Thanks. Appreciate that. This is already going to be a fun show. I can tell you now.
Heck yeah!
As you're coming up, and I mean, again, you are so young now, and training becomes a thing. You're obviously, as you're deciding this is something you want to do, you're balancing school, you're balancing all this other stuff. What's that look like for you as you're like, and how old are you when you lace your first pair of boots? Because it's
when I first started training at the House of Champions, I was 15 years old.
Well, you only
was when I got my first pair of boots and I started training.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. That's our show. We're not beating that. This guy's fucking been doing this for 2 years and is already everywhere. I'm sorry. Continue.
I was 15. Originally, what we had talked about doing was my parents, if I'm going to start training, they were only going to let me if I went to college, got a degree, and had something to fall back on. Because, of course, wrestling isn't going to last forever. It's eventually my body's going to break down, and I'm going to need something to have a backup. And originally, it was going to be I get through college, and during college, Dad teaches me everything but the wrestling. But then the House of Champions opened up, and it was pretty local, so we decided to go there, and the rest is history.
And as a matter of fact, I had Coach K on Sunday night. I had a really good conversation.
I love Coach K. I would not be half the professional wrestler that I am if it wasn't for Coach K.
Let me tell you, that guy I have the utmost respect for on so many fucking levels. And
100%.
Had an opportunity to tell him, told him several times, but to personally tell him how much I appreciate what he's doing right now. Not only he, Jamie, and Renee, and Bobby, the whole crew, with how they are helping shape the future of professional wrestling and the younger generation of professional wrestling and doing it the right way. It is refreshing 100%. To see. So walk me through when you show up at the House of Champions and you get your, I'm assuming you did did you get free class like everybody else did? Like, give me the thought process when you go in and you're kind of feeling this thing out for the first time. What's running through your head?
I did. It was interesting because I went to, when the House Champions did their open house, I went and I checked out the facility. I wasn't able to stay for the actual practice that they did that day. And it took about, I think, a week-ish until I eventually signed on. But that first day, it was mind-blowing. Because, of course, I've grown up in the industry. I've been able to play around in wrestling rings before shows my entire life. But actually being able to step into the ropes and legitimately learn how to do the thing I've been watching it's unmatched. It's awesome.
Toddy, go ahead.
And then, shoot, I was still in school at that time.
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, it's a tough balance. Number one, but to do it while you're having balance.
I will say, I've been blessed from my school. They allowed me to go on to a work study program with the work being professional wrestling. So I'm able to, if I have a show in Texas, I'm able to take Friday off to take Friday as a travel day to get up to Texas. Or if I have a show on Wednesday, I'm able to take that Wednesday off, or that Tuesday, Wednesday off. I'm able to take extra time off in order to be able to take bookings, and it was a godsend this past year.
I'm telling you, man, I love to hear that. Unrelated. This is off subject, and we'll get right back to it. Toddy, pick us up on it as soon as I ask this. I just have a random question. If you had a choice between fried chicken or beef for dinner, what's it going to be?
Fried chicken or beef? Well, I think I'm getting fried chicken tonight, so I gotta say fried chicken.
Okay, I asked you that because we have a
I
member.
love me some Canes.
A friend in chat, new subscriber to the channel, said that who's thinking about chicken or beef. He said maybe Rice should have something to say about that, or Reese, excuse me. I'll get it right. Reese had something to say about it. So there you go. You answered a question without even knowing you answered the question.
There you go, Septic.
Fried chicken, septic. Fried septic. Go ahead, Toddy.
So we know that wrestling's in your blood and you've been around it. What really kept you at the HOC? Everybody has different reasons, and I really enjoy hearing everybody's reason because it starts different, but it always ends the same.
What really kept me at the HOC was the brotherhood. It was very like someone's detected at my doorbell. Big Boy Patty, Casey Rocker, Kid Koota, those three have legitimately become like the closest thing I have to older brothers. I would not be the man that I am now without them. I love those three with my whole heart.
It's funny we have Koota coming on next week. Actually, I think next Wednesday. Actually, I think that's a new generation Wednesdays. We're gonna start calling it. We'll get there. Go ahead. Go ahead, Toddy.
No, so you talked about the brotherhood, and I've seen all of you in the ring together in the HOC. I've also seen all of you in the ring together in the establishment. Walk me through like this brotherhood, how it formed, and what continues to make that bond strong.
The thing that really it kind of formed organically, because for a while me and Patty were like this, like inseparable. We'd always find each other at practice and like start BSing around, finding different things. We're not even there yet on our training. But it was always the thing where like when came time to start booking the first student show, one of the matches that everyone wanted to see was me and Patty. But it didn't happen on the first one. But for my first ever wrestling match, it was able to happen between me and Big Boy Patty in the first round of the original Tournament of Champions back in 2024.
Okay.
And from there, KC, I hung around a lot. He had a lot of hand in my training because I would do open rings with him and we would just come up with stuff. And same with Chuck when he signed on to the HOC way later than us three, but all four of us hanging out outside of the Hawk. When I made my debut up in Waterloo, Iowa, Patty and KC actually came up with me and we did the Dr. Tom, Les Thatcher, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? It was a freaking.
Was that Sigmund?
We did a class with Dr. Tom and Les Thatcher up in Iowa before the show. I forget what the term is. I don't know why I'm forgetting it. But we had that trip. Those boys have come with me on road trips down to Texas, about 16, 15 hours each way. So we've had more than enough time to hang out and get to know each other and become family.
Was you're going through the HOC and, I guess you went through the same process. Everybody got greenlit and were able to go out and start taking outside bookings. You have done a lot in a short period. You have been able to transcend, Florida. You have been able to branch out. You have gotten opportunities with Game Changer Wrestling. You've gotten opportunities with Reality of Wrestling. How do those fall into your lap, or how do those opportunities kind of arise, and for you to be able to take advantage of them like you have?
I'm truly blessed to have all the opportunities that I've had this young. I say it all the time to myself. I shouldn't be where I am right now. There's no way realistically that I should be a year in and have already wrestled outside of my state, let alone for the companies that I have. Which a lot of it, call it nepotism if you want, but a lot of it is connections that my father has made in his 26 years in the industry. But I say it all the time. And this was something he taught me even before I started training. All that he is able to do is get me in the door, and then from there it's up to me to knock that door down. And look, consistently I've been brought back.
No, facts.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Todd. I didn't mean to step on you.
I would tend to agree with that because, for everybody that says that, the work is there because, throughout your travels, even in Las Vegas, like I know social media, everybody's not a big social media person, but I tend to keep up with all of you and I try to share every single thing that you put out. And the quality of work that I see definitely backs it up. So no matter how you got there, that doesn't matter. It's what you do when you are there. And the fact that I see you all over the place all the time, that speaks volumes. So, and good things happen to good people. So there's that.
100%.
I know, like, I'm a big follower of Reality of Wrestling. We have a lot of friends over there.
I love it down there in Reality of Wrestling. That's legit become my home away from home.
And for good reason. Like, you just came back from this weekend. You were down there, right? So
actually, one of my favorite matches I've had down there against Eric Lockhart.
Oh my God! Why are you spoiling that for me right now? Because now I have to
My
wait.
bad.
I have to wait like 3.
Hey,
I knew the match happened.
The title match stream drops tonight. If you want to get a title match subscription.
I mean, I think we already have that. We have all kinds of subscriptions that I don't even know about anymore. Danny Limelight. I saw we actually had him on the show several months ago. And
I love Danny.
Not too long after we had him on the show, the announcement comes out that you're getting in the ring with him. And something that you just said a second ago, and I do want to emphasize this. Talent is what keeps you in the game. Having the talent and having the ability. And if there's any naysayer out there, I would strongly encourage you to go buy a fucking ticket and watch him in person. And then you tell me what's what. We watch indie wrestling 20 plus hours a week all over the world every fucking week. I have seen the best of the best on every continent. And I will tell you, and it doesn't make me an expert by any means. It doesn't make Toddy an expert by any means. What it does tell me is I would put you in the upper echelon of some of the greatest around the fucking world because you're that good in the ring. It's not, and not only in the ring.
I really appreciate that.
You're good on the fucking microphone too. You can talk them into the building. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I'll say this: the promo from the establishment that I was there on the last. I think it was the last show. It was New Generations was after you had formed, so this was like for me and why I came. To be perfectly fair, this was the biggest show for the New Generation because you just formed on the previous one.
So it was our statement piece.
Correct. And I wanted to be there for it. And when I heard you guys take the ring, you, Dyer, and Kid Koota, that opening promo that you guys cut was fucking incredible. Koota.
Heck yeah, dude, I love Koota. He's absolutely incredible on the mic. He's the only man that I have ever seen religiously tape study like the entirety of wrestling. He currently lives with us, and I've walked in on him legitimately watching like old pre-territory stuff, like Fez matches. It's insane. If there's anyone that knows his stuff, it's Koota.
I'm here for it. I'm sorry, I was making prefaces and get back to like some stuff with Reality Wrestling. You get an opportunity to work with Danny Limelight. You're getting these opportunities to get in there and make this shit happen.
That match is really important to me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, by all means.
That match was so important to me because I felt like a real level up moment. That match happened literally the week before I flew out to Vegas, and I don't think if I had that match, I would have been in the right headspace for all the opportunities that I had Vegas weekend. That match, it legitimately leveled me up. I have nothing but good to say about Danny Limelight. He is one of my all-time, he's one of my favorite human beings alive. I love Danny.
Dude's fucking fantastic. I think the world of him.
He had legitimately my favorite match of 2024 him and Ryan Davis in a steel cage match at Summer of Champions.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I was there live for that match. Incredible.
We won't talk about
He
it.
actually he had great things to say about you as well.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, he's aces with me, and something that, and this is unrelated to professional wrestling, but you know we can't help but notice that there's an awful lot of comics behind you, and you're sitting in an X-Men
Shoot,
style chair.
I got the Fantastic Four Funkos sitting on my desk too.
I'm gonna ask a question that I asked Mr. Limelight because he's comic book buff too and a comic book nerd as well. I gotta know. I need to know your heroes and your villains. Which ones are which? Who are you pulling for?
I love the X-Men. Always have. Gambit is one of my all-time favorite X-Men. Gambit and I love Cyclops. I'd say those are my two favorite heroes. Villains-wise, I've always loved Doctor Doom. I loved Loki. Mephisto I've always thought was really cool. Kingpin, Bullseye. I'm a big Daredevil guy too.
Oh, nobody has said Kingpin on that question, and Kingpin's such an
he's a very underrated pick.
Yes.
Comic and live action. Doesn't matter which one you pick. Both of them are incredible.
Yes, fantastic. Sorry, I had to ask. Toddy, let me come around to you.
I'm gonna take it to the chat for a second. Violence Achieved 81, who swears they're not. Matthew Ennis wants to know. Wants to know.
Get out of here, Ennis.
I was gonna say I've only told him to leave like once, so you know there's that. But he wants to know if you like being a heel or a face more.
I've gotten to the point where I feel comfortable being both. And I've always had it drilled into me by my dad ever since I started in the industry is just to run the play. Whatever the promoter needs of me, the story demands of me, I just run the play. Whatever's needed. If they need me to go out there in a pink tutu and a bow tie, I will.
Better be making some serious money on that.
I'm able and willing to play whatever I need.
Better be making some money on that. You better be getting you some change on that tutu.
Whether you're paying my full rate.
Yeah. Go ahead, Toddy. Any more questions from chat that we can fire off, and then we'll jump into WrestleMania weekend as soon as we get through some of these guys real quick.
No, there's just basically comments, but I'll kind of tie a bow on those a little later because I know we have some ground to cover. So I want to move to the establishment and how you got hooked up with them. And you have had a really good run there, and now you have the new generation going on. So tell me about how you got in the door and then what it's been like to be with the establishment.
Establishment was one of the first companies that I worked for when I was on the Indies. It's run by an amazing Marquise. I trained with him while I was at the HOC, and that's where I established a connection. And then he went and made the establishment. It took a while to get in because I wasn't quite there on my training yet. But of course, lo and behold, my first match when I finally get there was against the man himself, Big Boy Patty. And then they brought me back for a second time, and I was stuck wrestling Patty again. There was, I think, a month straight where at least once or twice, there was like for a solid 4 months, at least once or twice that month, we would wrestle each other.
I mean,
the chemistry's undeniable.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I have the best chemistry in the ring with Big Boy Patty.
Well, I venture to say that we may be seeing a little bit more of that in the establishment after what's been going on here lately.
Can't escape him. Can't escape him.
That part.
Not at all. We'll get a little bit more into the establishment because you guys, when I saw you taking on the Florida Tag Team Champions, and I just want to go on record and say, number one, you guys were screwed. Should have new Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
Period. End story. It's not even debatable. You weren't. I was there. You weren't. So outside of chasing the Florida Tag titles, what's the next steps for the new generation? Anything that you can talk about with the new generation? Because you don't want to give away too many secrets.
I don't want to give away too much. I think our current goal is me and Koota want back on those belts. I want my baby back, is what I'm saying. That's my overall goal. That's my intentions. We showed last month at the tavern. We laid out better together. We laid out Big Boy Patty, and we stood tall with those belts in our hands. And we're not going to stop until me and Koota get those belts back.
And yet here we are getting ready to roll into a big show this weekend, and they're not even giving you guys a tag team title opportunity. Those son of a bitches.
Must be some form of punishment for laying them all out.
I mean,
not much I can do about it.
Bad, just bad.
I was going to say, there has been several shows where you all are standing tall at the end of the show. So kind of walk me through, how do Casey, Rocker, and Dyer fit into this new generation dynamic? Because obviously you and Kid Koota have chemistry, you have history. How did they come into the new generation?
Of course, Rocker and Koota were the main reasons that Dyer, I've watched him train. I've watched him start from roles, and now he's working match. Incredible. I'm very proud of him and his progress he's made. And to get to stand side by side with him and Koota and KC, all three, really awesome. And I couldn't have passed up on that opportunity, even if it did mean dropping Patty. Quite literally.
Twice.
Yeah.
You talk about Wilson Dyer. I've told him this on many occasions. I don't consider myself a critic at all, but if someone asks my opinion of something, I'm going to give it to them. 100. Nope, not pulling punches. You may like it, you may not like it. So he asked me for an opinion on something, and I gave it to him. This was a while back. And I'm not going to tell you what. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I just gave him my opinion on something. I came down when I saw the show. What I had given him my opinion on, he had 100% corrected. 100% corrected. And it was a pretty big, for me, as someone who watches, it was a pretty big fucking deal. I'm like, bro, I can't take you seriously if this is what I see. Like, I just can't do it. And then we get into what I saw. And I made a point. I went up to him at the show and was like, I'm so fucking proud of you. So much better. So much better. It was night and day. So whatever's going on and whoever is working with him, like there's some movement being made there.
It's that empire, man. It's the DMC.
When you look at the foundation of the new generation, I see him as you guys are all young, but I see him as the young guy that's learning as from the vets. If you're looking at like the Horsemen or somebody like that of a stable faction, he's that young guy that's learning, and it can be dangerous when he gets there. I think that there's some serious potential here. And I think that 100%. Potential with the new generation, I think it exceeds Florida. I think there's opportunity to take that act out on the road at some point. Is that something that you guys have maybe talked about? Is that something that's crossed you guys' mind?
It's not something that's outside of the establishment. We're all kind of focusing on our individual careers.
Okay.
But if the opportunity ever arises, of course we'll take it.
Fantastic. I love to hear that.
Would be remiss not to.
Oh, facts, 100%. WrestleMania weekend. It's a pretty big deal for you. You had a lot of shit going on. Let's talk about it. Open up that can of worms.
One of the greatest weeks of my life.
What you got going on?
Yeah.
A lot. I flew in to Las Vegas on that Wednesday, had to touch down, and then immediately go to the hotel, drop our stuff off, and then go from hotel to the Palms Casino for Dragon Gate Rebirth, which was the first ever Dragon Gate USA show since 2014, which what made that mean even more to me was back when my father was on the independent scene. The company that he was really able to make his name on was Dragon Gate USA. And to have the opportunity to wrestle on the first Dragon Gate USA show in almost 11 years was unreal.
What the building feel like there? I mean,
Oh my gosh, it was like a mini Hammerstein ballroom. It was insane. It was awesome. Truly one of the nicest venues I've wrestled in to this day.
Outside of
you were
go ahead, Toddy. Go ahead.
you were definitely over with the fans. You have so many different fans there, and I feel like a lot of times, especially specifically on WrestleMania weekend, fans are like critics. So how was that fan reaction for you? Was it just 100% everybody was cool, or did you get any mixed reactions? And how did you deal with that?
It was a little bit mixed because they didn't know who I was. And I was the nobody coming into the pre-established company against someone who the people that watched that company would know. It was a little hard to turn them, but I think we got him in the end.
Chris, we can't hear you.
Because I muted myself. For me, I say, and this is the first time I'm saying it on the show, I say back in my day because I was in the ring and not from 99 to 05, late 05 and early 06. But to get those opportunities to do something like that, to number one, all eyes converged on Vegas for Mania weekend. Any
100%.
prominent independent fed was there. There were shows going on left and right. I believe that like Michael Oku wrestled 8 matches over the course of that weekend.
Good Lord.
Amira, his girlfriend / manager, wrestled 9 matches over that course of that weekend. What did your schedule look like, and how hard was it to keep? Like, this is Vegas, brother. I'm not going to pretend like I haven't been there. I've been there several times, and let me just tell you, what they say is true. What happens in Vegas stays in fucking Vegas. So
I will say, I didn't get the full Vegas experience because I'm 17.
Oh yeah. No, just wait.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if we got next year, I'll be at the very least 18.
It's coming.
For me, my schedule wasn't too hard, but it was just basing it around availability was the difficult part. Because I had Dragon Gate Rebirth on Wednesday. Then on the Friday, I had Dragon Gate and Pro Wrestling Revolution's double show that they did together. And then the Saturday, I had GCW Justify, which was it lived up to the name, but it was so much fun. It was so much. I got to wrestle the Mexicools. Nothing's ever gonna top that.
How did that play out?
It was awesome. It was took a Hoovy driver from Juventud, and it was awesome.
It sounds like
truly made the whole week for me.
You are literally living the fucking dream right now when it comes to being able to get out here and get things done and to get your name out there and seriously push the envelope. Because, and I say that because, I call it like I see it. And the way I see it is with everything that you're doing right now, places that you've been, and the places that you're probably going to be going. It's not a matter if, it's a matter when before that ID comes your way, before you start finagling your way into the system of the Fed. I feel like that's where you are headed. And I'm interested to know, like, as you're currently on your journey, how much information are you absorbing from some of these talented guys that you're
as much as humanly possible. Like I was able to start at the HOC. I got as much information as possible from Bobby Fish, from Jamie Stanley, from Kakoa, and then I've had the amazing opportunity to go down and train in Texas a little and learn from Clay Roberts, to even learn as much as I can from Booker T when the opportunity itself. It's crazy the people that I've been able to learn from. this early into the career, but I would not be the wrestler I am without it. And I've said all the time, you can have at the very least good, bad, or that you have. And I think that's part of the reason why I don't want to say ever evolving, but ever evolving, for lack of a better term. Every match, you can take something away from it and learn something from it.
Everything's a learning experience, is what I say. What I used to say back in the day.
100%.
Like, even if we'd show up and weren't booked, you can still learn something. You can put the ring up.
And then even back to that, I've had people that I've known ever since I was that are coming back around to help me. I've had, I would be remiss not to mention people like Charlotte Flair, who has been one of my best buddies since I was like, what, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, Biggie, people that I knew when I was little that are coming around and able to help me now. I'm ever grateful. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a ride, man, and you're just getting started. Here's what's scary. And Toddy, then I'm gonna come around to you for either questions from the chat or wherever you want to take it next. This is what's scary, and I really want you to think about this because I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. Look at how good you are right now, right? And this is not just because you're sitting here. This is facts. You've been out there. You have wrestled with the reputable indies. You are learning from a who's who. Like this is where it gets fucking wild with how good you are right now. Think about where you're gonna be in 5 years. Okay, that's gonna put you at what? 22.
Yeah, about that.
Your prime's about 13 or 14 years later. Think about how scary you were gonna be when you hit your prime in professional wrestling. Because it's not what it was back in my day. My day, mid-30s into your early 40s, you started to wind it down and call it. But now, if you take care of yourself and you get out here and work and you get it done, your career can go well into your 40s and into your 50s. Fucking Chick Donovan's wrestling at 78. Like, it's insane. I'm not saying
Ric
it's
Flair
good.
talking about his other last match.
No, thank you. I saw the first one. I'm good. I don't need to see somebody die in the ring, and especially somebody I admire. I admired Flair so much. I got an NWA championship. I got a replica 10-pound
Nice.
because that was my belt growing up. But yeah, please don't, Rick, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But just think about how good you're going to be and that's what's wild. And that's where I say professional wrestling is in a really good place, and it ain't going anywhere. It's only going to get better because there are more talented people. There are the younger generation is looking pretty good right now. For me to sit in this chair in 20 years, and you guys are going to be on TV. You're going to be in the Fed. You're going to be carrying the banner. You're going to be waving the flag for the scene. And I'm going to be that guy to say, I talked to him 20 years ago, and this is where we're at now. But I just wanted to point that out, man. Like, it's just scary stuff because it's true. You're so fucking good, and you ain't even scratched your surface. It's wild. It blows my mind to think about it. Go ahead, Toddy.
So I have a question, and then I'm going to come around to the chat. So I asked Destin this same question because he's young, and at this point oh yeah, amazing.
One of my best friends.
You are living the dream right now, and you're on top of the world, and the star is still rising. What is that like, managing that at your age? Because some people, sometimes they feel like they're missing out or they didn't really get to experience their teenage years. What is that like for you?
I don't really feel that way at all because professional wrestling is what I've always wanted. Like I mentioned, I have that work-study program, so I'm able to take time in school for wrestling. Which alongside wrestling, I work at a comic shop down in Florida just for extra money to have on the road. I love it there too. But I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much. because wrestling's what I've always wanted to do. It's been my dream ever since I was little, and I would not rather. I'd I'd not rather be doing anything else.
I definitely, I'll tell you the same thing I told him. That takes a lot of discipline. And it definitely shows because, like I said earlier, I've seen your body of work, I've seen your work ethic and the things that you do. So you definitely have that going for you. So I commend you on that. And I'm totally happy to hear you say that. I'm going to take it to the chat. We have a question from one of our own CCP family and one of our great co hosts, UK Paul. He wants to know what the next 5 years look like for you.
That's a very good question. For me, I try to take it month to month. Whatever comes my way comes my way, because it's hard to really make a prediction of what the future holds. I've always felt this way, because you could think something's happening one day, and then you go to bed and wake up, suddenly you have a new contract, suddenly you have a new company looking to book you, suddenly you have a new opportunity of some sort. You kind of have to take it day to day, week to week. It's hard to go year and really like make a prediction of what the future holds. The future could hold anything.
Lots of winning. That's what the future holds. A lot of winning.
Yes.
a lot of championships. A lot of recognition. A lot of different things happening, and a lot of moving parts for sure. And I understand that too. That is usually one of the questions I'll ask. Hey man, what's your next 5 years? What's your plan look like? What are you trying to do? Where you trying to go? What's all that look like to you? But I think in your case, man, that's one of the first times I've said this. It's gonna come to you. It really is. You're doing the work. It's more than just making the shots. You're doing the social media. You're out here daily doing something and making sure that your name stays relevant amongst anybody that's out there. That's a piece of the win. And you're doing it at such a young age. And as the game advances and as you advance, it's only gonna get fucking better and better and better. And it's gonna be one of those situations where, for at least from my perspective, you'll be calling your own shots for too much longer. With you still being like 17, are you still gonna go through with the college plans? Are you
I
working
have
towards
to.
anything? Okay.
It would be unsmart of me not to, because like I mentioned earlier, wrestling isn't going to last forever. Eventually my body will I will have to retire, or God forbid my next match I have a permanent injury that takes me out of the I I wouldn't it would not be smart of me to not give myself that backup option. That's something I will preach to anyone, especially if you're super young trying to get into professional. Please go to college. Please get a backup, because it does not last forever. As much as you feel invincible, as much as you can wrestle a whole match, take 30 head drops, and then wake up perfectly fine, it does not last forever.
Oh no, this is a sport that fraction of an inch either way can break a neck, can break a bone real quick and in a hurry. Um, we have had a lot. We've chatted a lot about what you've got going on, just kind of how you've made it to where you are right now. And we talked a little bit about you, but with everything that you do have going on, you're all over the place. You work, you're wrestling, you're doing everything that you can do on a daily. Man, what do you do for you? What's your you time look like? How do you relax,
I like
and
I like
decompress?
playing video games on my computer with my friends. I love collecting action figures, collecting Funko Pops. Something that helps me when I'm out of state, because I'm able to go and get all the figures I'm not to stateside. Um, out of state, out of state. I said it
Hmm.
right. Collecting comics. Like I said, I work at a comic shop, deal with Stuff like that. I'm a nerd at heart, much like my father.
I think we all are to a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Hard not to be.
here's here's a secret, guys. And then if it gets me heat, I'm sorry. If you ever want to know what are you guys like? We're all nerds. That when the cameras are off, when we're not editing footage and we're not pushing career narratives, we're nerds. Anything that you can think of that's nerdy, we're probably doing it.
I mean,
It's
shoot, I have a Magneto wrestling gear, I have Cyclops wrestling gear. I have so many nerd gears because you gotta have fun with it. We're all nerds, might as well.
I need to see the gear. Uh, have you broke
I
out
have
the
a
gear?
picture of it. Oh yeah, I've broken out the Cyclops and Magneto gear. I have a Gambit gear made that I need to double back with and get it all fixed up so I can actually use it because that gear looks. You see if I can find the pictures. I'll send them to the Discord server after the
Dope.
interview.
Yeah, I want to take a look at it. I think that shit's fantastic. Toddy, we come around to you. What you got?
We have a question from a really good friend of the channel, Rachie Does Things.
Hey,
She
Rachie.
wants to know what are your favorite video games?
Ooh, great question. Ever since I was super little, I've always loved playing. That's a big one. I love playing Fortnite, but specifically Fortnite Festival. Trying to think. Roblox, any game that I can find on my computer, I'll play. I've always loved Five Nights at Freddy's. Horror games in general, I love. Horror movies, I love.
Oh, wait.
Are you a Dead by Daylight?
Oh, yes, I am. I love Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
That game's a lot of fun.
Horror franchise. What's your favorite?
Ooh, I've always loved Scream. Always loved Scream. That was the first horror movie that I really sat down and like watched.
I just think a scary movie when I think of Scream. I don't know why. Did I see you in Stomp? That's just scary movie too. It's just the greatest fucking scene ever. I got him. I got Todrick. He popped.
No, because before we went on the air, my sister was literally listening to a clip. So it was already in my head, that whole montage from the dinner table.
Yeah.
So when you said it, it was right there already.
Well, let me ask you this as we start winding things down. First of all, greatly appreciate you coming in and hanging out and talking with us. And I know that we just barely scratched the surface with this conversation. Maybe we do that intentionally. We're organic from beginning to end because, number one, people can see through fake. And number two, we hope that you have a good time.
Amen.
You want to come back and chill out with us and talk with us down the line too, and get involved with other projects that we've got going on and other odds and ends, because we are definitely not here for short-term gain with anybody that we talk to, with anybody that we work with. We like long-term relationships. So I preface that and say that because, again, I know that we really just scratched the surface with everything that you've got going on. I got to know. I ask everybody from your perspective, and in your case, because you have been getting out there and getting a lot of reps in a lot of different places, and you've seen a lot of talent. You've been in the ring with a lot of talent. Who are some of the guys out there on the independent scene that, from your perspective, maybe they're a hidden gem and should be seen, if you will?
Of course, like you've had him on the show, or you've at least Big Boy, Casey, Wilson, Destin, Joanne. These names are these are given. Max Danziger, another name. I know you've had him on the show.
I love Max. He's such a good dude.
I love Max. He's such a good dude.
That dude. Let me tell you something. I told Keiko this too, because I still don't know how to handle this. Danziger's a legit rock star. Legit.
No, yeah, it's insane.
We come.
He's invited all of us to some of his shows, and like It's insane.
I
He's like a legit rock star.
a dude was in Japan and was hanging out with us when we were talking to Keiko. It was great. Uh, he he walks up to me when I walk into the HOC, and bear in mind, I I have on my my podcasting shirt. I only did one show on the HOC at that point, so like there's really no reason for
Mhm.
anybody to know who the fuck I am to begin with. I walk in with my husband. The first person who walks up to me and shakes my hand, I didn't have to approach him. This dude came to me and shook my hand and was
Mhm.
like, "Hey man, I appreciate you covering us." And I'm Max, nice to meet you. I went, "Wait, what? Hold on," because I
Heck
don't,
yeah.
I don't think I had a whole lot of flattering things to say about him in the first show. And I was like, but you came up to me and you shook my hand. I was like, isn't this supposed to be the other way around? Like, isn't that how that works?
Mhm.
But that dude, so just yes, I
He's
was like,
awesome.
dude, and even to this day, I even talk about it to him. Well, not all the time, but when we exchanged DMs, I'm like, bro, like I still can't believe you shook my hand. You walked up to me and shook my hand. You made me feel important, and I'm just a dude spreading independent knowledge. That's it. But Max,
Everyone's important.
Max,
Every part of the industry is important.
I am learning that. You have to think. Not to like put it in a different perspective. We aren't used to any of this shit. Like
Mhm.
the acknowledgments that we're getting out there now. Like when I knew that we were doing something right was when and again, we've only been doing this for 2 years and only really honed in on what we're doing over the last year. So last 12 months or
Mhm.
so. I did a show on Richard Holiday and didn't know that he was watching the show or had
Great
any
dude.
interest in watching the show. Oh, absolutely. It's led to a fantastic relationship to this day. This is when I know that we were right
Mhm.
and that whatever we're doing is working. He hit me up and was just like, "Hey, thank you for that. I appreciate you going to and watching
Heck
my
yeah.
stuff and you didn't have to do that. And you chose to do that." Like, I remember to this day, and it has led to such a great relationship now. Like, actually, he's on the show on the 19th. Uh,
Heck yeah.
and we got to do some sponsorships with him with narcissistic behavior. We picked up a couple of
Heck
the
yeah.
guys. This is how I'm saying, like, I'm not used to this shit. And we're still developing as we go. We see all you guys coming in and coming out. And I'm sorry. That was my rant. I stepped on you and my
Sure,
ADD
all
kicked
good.
in.
You're all good. I get that.
We gotta
Well, I will say this about um, everyone there. It's one thing to hear about the environment at the HOC, and then it's another thing to experience it. And this is an ego driven business. You know, there are a lot of things that you guys do, and you're genuine. The same way you're genuine on social media is the same way you're genuine when you meet in person.
Mhm.
And I have to say uh, a thank you to you specifically because whereas Chris has been in this business, I have not, but I every time I think I've mastered social media, I I find out that there's so much more that I don't know. But one of the things that stands out to me about you is anytime I share something, and I share a lot of people's stuff. I'm sure you've seen that. Um, and I get sent a lot of things with people asking me to share. You have always taken at least 3 seconds to say thank you. And while that's not required, it's not
Mhm.
expected, I don't do anything for a thank you. It really means a lot to me that you do stuff like that. And that says a lot about your character. And so I was not surprised, when we were down there, that was the environment that we were in. So um, hats off to you for having the schedule that you have, doing the things that you do, um, and still being that personable person. It goes a long way. It really says a lot about you. And that's why I truly mean this when I say good things happen to good people.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
That's 100% facts. Um, Let me ask you this. I got a couple more questions for you on my side of the coin.
Yeah.
Guys in chat, y'all have been rocking hard all night. We appreciate that. If you have any other questions, Now would be your opportunity to go ahead and drop them in chat, and we'll get them worked in. We'll try and get them worked in. You've already made so many waves already in such a short period of time. I'm really curious to know what companies out there on the independent scene do you want to work with? Are there companies that come to
Any
your
that want to
head?
come my way,
I figured that was probably going to be the
any
answer.
opportunity that, as I've said, any opportunity that comes up, I'll take.
I think
I've done shows in Lafayette, Indiana, and shows in Las Vegas, Nevada. To me, it's not about the actual show. It's about the rep. It's about the match. It's about wrestling. Because at the end of the day, I'm a wrestler. I want to get as much wrestling experience as humanly possible. But why would I not want to?
yeah, no facts. I 100% get it. I see you. I would love to see you with MLW at some point. To be fair,
I would love to work for MLW.
You're already rocking it in reality of wrestling, and that is a heavily produced and really well put together piece of business. It only makes sense for MLW to be a stop for you, because again, you know, I I don't want this to come across the wrong way to anybody out there. So if you're watching, if you're talented, this is not meant to be disrespectful by any means. I look at like classes of independent wrestling, right? Like you would look at a card. You've got your main event guys, you've got your mechanic mid card guys, you've got your semi main event guys, you've got your lower tier card guys, you've got your opening acts, you've got all this stuff. I see you as a top tier guy on the independent scene. You're already getting the reps to be able to work with top tier guys. And to me, and while Danny Limelight, Super might be like, "Who's that?" No, that motherfucker. Go watch his shit. That dude is
God,
fucking good.
one
And
of the best going right now.
yeah, straight. The fact that he is not signed is criminal to me. Somewhere.
It makes no sense. Like him, Clay Roberts, Sensei, Ryan Davidson, Eric Lockhart. You can name anyone on the Reality of Wrestling roster, and you could make a case for them to be signed, and it would make total sense. Eli Knight, Malik Boseed. I could go on. The Reality of Wrestling has an incredible roster, top to bottom, and I am truly blessed and honored to be able to call myself a part of that roster.
I love it, fucking love it. We've had Kirby Carey on the show before. We've had Emily.
I love Kirby.
We had Emily Taylor on the show.
I love them both.
We've had Limelight. Now we've got you that's attached to it. Eventually, I'm gonna get Booker T. I want that. I want the five-time champ. I'm gonna get him at some point. Let me ask you this, and then I know Toddy, we've got a couple more questions from the chat, and we'll wrap it up. I promise. My last question for you, and man, this one to me is always a good one. If you have them, fantastic. If you don't, that's cool too. Who are some people that you want to get in the ring with? 2025, we're, halfway through it. Who are some names out there?
I had a match with Destin Joanno before in the past, but I want to get back in the ring with him now. He's one that's certainly on my list. I want to eventually have the opportunity to run it back with Danny. I want to any match that I can possibly have at Reality of Wrestling. I'd love to. AJ Francis is on that list. Edge Stone, Eli Knight, Marcus Mathers, Rudy Garza, Gino Medina. There, you can make a case for, like I said before, you can make a case for anyone to be signed, but you can also make a case for why they'd have a banger with me or why I'd have a banger with them. First,
you said Gino, man, and that's a name that don't get a lot of love. That's an underrated.
I love Gino.
I think he's fucking underrated too. That guy's tremendous. But I think all those matches are money, and I truly think that your blasting cap hasn't even went off yet, but when it does, fucking look out. Toddy, go ahead.
So I'm going to take two questions and combine them into one. What states do you want to travel to next, or countries?
Ooh. Anywhere in the U.S., anywhere. I'd love to go back to Chicago. I'd love to wrestle in Arizona, Alaska, anywhere that'll take me. California. States-wise, I love to go wrestle in the UK. I loved Progress when I was first getting into pro wrestling. I've always wanted to go over and wrestle in Japan. For whether that be for Dragon Gate or in like I've said before, any opportunity that comes up, I'll take it.
I am here for it. This has been such a fantastic conversation. RHYS, it only took me an hour to pronounce it. Wow, I have no words for that one. I know that for at least for me and for Toddy, you just giving us the time to chat is incredible.
Heck yeah,
Um,
anytime.
and I'm looking forward to having you back down the line to catch up with you and see what you all have going on and how far you've grown in such a short period of time, and where you're going to go. This is, guys, if you're watching right now, I don't say this often, but I will say it. I've said it about two other people, and they came true. Watch RHYS MADDOX right now. And if you get the opportunity to see RHYS anywhere, I would strongly encourage you to take it because it's only a matter of time before he's snatched. Whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW, whether it's overseas, it's going to happen. And when it does, don't say I didn't warn you because it's one of those
Heck yeah.
deals. You are one of those talents and you're one of those guys. I see it.
I really
No,
appreciate that.
and it's not blowing smoke. It's something that's easy to
Mm,
do. It's easy to bullshit. This is not a bullshit statement. It is legit. We see too much wrestling to not see talent when we see fucking talent. And you are talent. Toddy, what
heck yeah. Thank you.
excuse me, what would you like to say?
I want to add on to that sentiment because you said something that really stood out earlier, and it goes to everything that I've been saying. When you were in the Vegas show, you were like, people didn't really know who I was, but you went out there and you worked that match, and a photo is worth 1,000 words, and I saw the pictures. So the fact that you have that attitude, the fact that you are as good as you are, you're doing the things that you're doing, those opportunities are there, and you're still humble enough to still be normal makes a huge difference. And it really speaks to that discipline, to that character, all those things that I've said about you throughout the show. Um, Seeing where you are now, usually people say, I want to see where you are in a year. I don't like to pigeonhole certain people into that box. Who knows where you're going to be 3 months from now, because the sky is the limit. Opportunities are everywhere, and you are going out, putting in the reps, and you're traveling. And in those travels, there are a lot of eyes on you, and the reaction is the same in all the photos. So I can't wait to see where you are in the next 3 months. I think that you have a great work ethic, and I really enjoy seeing what you're doing. So I'm going to keep watching, and when I finally become an old man, I'm going to be like, I knew him, sitting in my rocking chair.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much.
That's
You're
why you're
muted.
muted. That's why you're muted, because you're full of foolishness.
He you know what? I will pull that back because I don't wanna embarrass you. I right, Reese, let us know, man. What you got coming up? We always turn the floor over to you. Whatever you want to plug, man, go right ahead. It's all
Heck yeah,
yours.
got Reality of Wrestling week to week. I'm not going to be on their next show, but I will be on Gloria. Got Establishment this weekend. That's my next booking, and I think for the next week or so, that's about it. I'm heading up to Texas for about a week. I'll be at the Reality of Wrestling student show that they do, their breakout show, and I'm gonna stay up there, train for a few days, and I'll be up.
Fantastic, man.
That's what my month looks like. Yeah.
you're still getting the reps in. You're going out there. You're getting this. You have the world in the palm of your hand. I'm looking forward to seeing where your ride takes you next. And
Heck
guys,
yeah.
the easiest way that you can support independent wrestling and independent wrestlers is simple by like, sharing, and subscribing where you can. Mr. Maddox's case keeps it pretty simple. If you want to, first of all, if you want one of the snazzy tees that I'm wearing, or you want that badass fucking design he's got on his chest, that's going to be prowrestlingtees.com/RHYS MADDOX 2GK. Super simple. It will be linked down below if you're watching over on YouTube. Instagram handle's the same. Keeps it simple. You don't have to do anything. Look it up, hit the button, follow him. Promoters out there, I know you're watching. We know you're watching. Bookings at RHYSMADDOX.pro is where you need to go if you want to get this piece of talent on your show. And you're probably going to want to do that sooner rather than later because there is no guarantees. The one thing about professional wrestling is nothing is guaranteed. Guarantee you this, he's not going to be on the market long. Mr. Maddox, it has been a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. Thank both of you guys.
Yeah, we look forward to having you back. It's going to be fantastic. For Todrick Tabar Ramsey,
Heck yeah.
for Mr. RHYS MADDOX, got it right again. I am Chris Pates. We will see you next time.
Heck yeah.